Hey, we got a lot of NFL stuff going on today, and almost none of it is good. Um, let's see. Yeah, the Ravens have placed 7 players on COVID list after a positive test, and in Denver has shut down their training or their workouts due to a positive test. It's in here. Um, yeah, Broncos canceled practice after another positive infection. 49ers shut down theirs after positive COVID tests. So NFL, but they're still soldiering through and having games. So there's the idea that they're going to move games around. They're going to move around your bye weeks, but whatever they're going to do from here, it's going to be interesting because it is tough with the size of rosters in the NFL to prevent this and to stop this. So fingers crossed and all that we get a full slate of games this week of some sort or something. But I'm starting to have my doubts. Yes, you will notice that there's a cat in the background because, of course, I got a cat tree for this set as well, and it means that the cats are within reach. So don't be surprised if Shadows pawn at me when he's on the top shelf. Um, and we'll see how this goes. I had to get one that was small because it had to fit into a smaller area. I actually kind of like this, so I may very well pick up another one as well because it's kind of handy and it takes up a lot less space than some of the other ones that we've had. But yeah, Major League Baseball. Of course, we're into free agency. It's been quiet thus far. I did find and locate a bunch of jerseys that I've had. I've been managing to go through some stuff. We moved like a year and a half ago now, and there was a lot of stuff that when we moved, I just lost track of, and the baseball jerseys were one of them. And of course, I do hockey videos every day, so obviously, baseball jerseys aren't going to be top priority. So now that I've started talking about baseball, I do have a number of baseball jerseys. These are just I believe this is just your batting practice jersey. It's one of those majestic. It was like $40. It's not like on field game worn or anything. I did pick up a Rays jersey. I picked up a Mookie Betts Boston Red Sox jersey, which means I have two Bostons. I have two Oaklands. Um, I have a Mets one that a subscriber sent me as well. I'm in pretty good shape when it comes to baseball. I there are a couple of teams I kind of want to get. I really want that blue Milwaukee Brewers that they wore this year, but they don't have it in my size right now, so I'm gonna have to wait. And so we'll see because I think the only one they had left was a triple X, and I wear a small or a medium, so I'm not gonna get a triple X and swim in it. And then I kind of want a Pittsburgh Pirates as well, but if I was going to get a Pirates, I'd want the black one that they wear with the P on it. It's really it's a very sharp, crisp jersey. And one thing that I found remarkable with the baseball ones this year is just how different they looked compared to the older jerseys. The older jerseys look, I don't know, kind of bland, and these ones just all the colors seem crisper on the new ones that they have this year. As soon as I saw that San Diego one, I was like, "Wow, that is fantastic!" And now I have that one too. So, yeah, look for that to come into play as this channel goes on. And obviously, a lot of the sports videos I'll be doing in the other room with a whiteboard. I don't need a whiteboard for this though. And so yeah, we'll be seeing a lot of probably baseball content as we get into the new year. I would expect baseball to try to have a 162 game season this coming year, but again, it's going to come down to Manfred and the Union, and we know how those things can go. Sometimes it's not well. Now, in terms of the NBA, it looks like they're going to announce their plans for sure for tomorrow, which is weird because basketball season usually starts after hockey season. Basketball finished their championship after the NHL's Stanley Cup was awarded, and yet the NBA is making inroads to getting their season for next year started before the NHL will. I understand why. I do. In that there's a lot more logistics to having a hockey game and to the way that the NHL is structured with 7 teams in Canada. It's much more difficult to make that work with a closed border, and the border's not opening anytime soon. We know this on this side of the border. um, I have not heard or seen anything from anybody saying now's a good time to open up and get the border going. Eventually, you have to, but I don't think we're there yet. So at this point in time, border's still closed. And so for the NBA, you could take the Raptors, send them into Kansas City, St. Louis, wherever you want to put them for that one season if you need to, or for part of the season until border openings become what we hope they'll be, and you can have them in Toronto again, hopefully in front of fans. But you can move them, and you can't really do that with the NHL, not without just logistically moving 7 teams might be kind of sort of difficult. And again, you might have bubbles. We'll get into that, but it doesn't sound like the NBA is going to have that during the regular season. It may be like the Major League Baseball season we just went through. But it's going to be interesting to see how sports navigates this. Um, there's a lot of work to be done. A lot of people likely working behind the scenes on this feverishly, and probably connected to the hockey world as well, where there's a lot of work being done that we just aren't aware of. The word that there's daily conversations between the union and ownership makes a lot of sense, and there's no point in reporting any of it to fans and to media until you have something etched in stone, which we may have from the NBA soon. So on this channel, if we get the NBA back and there's no NHL, I have no problem with reporting on NBA games. I'm not going to put everything that happens on a board, because when you've got games where 200 plus points are scored, that might be kind of a slog. Might be a little bit of a slog to be basically documenting every single shot or miss. But I would probably be reporting on basketball. I do have sets of magnets I'm going to get made up for every sport, North American, and I do apologize too for European subscribers, because I would love to cover like the Premier League soccer and some of the higher tier leagues from around the world, but just the time those games are on, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me, for my schedule, and so I have to cover the North American ones. So I do regret that. I wish there was kind of a way around that, but in order to do the kind of in-depth discussions that I like to do when it comes to football, and baseball and hockey, and at some point maybe basketball as well, right? Um, it's just, it doesn't work with the European sports. I like European sports a lot. I always have. If the World Cup was on this year, I'd be all over it, but it isn't. So, anyways, I just wanted to basically do a video now that I've got the new cat tree here, and just say, hey, we're going to be discussing other sports as well. And I may very well do a video where I go over what I have in my baseball jersey collection. It'll be a lot shorter than videos I've made on my hockey jersey collection, and much shorter. But that'll happen as well. And of course, this hat came from the Geeky Jerseys sister site, which is Geeky for the Geeky hats. So if you get a Geeky jersey and you want a hat that kind of matches, you might be able to find something on that site as well. So yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there. And as for where I found the Seattle jersey, that was at a store in Chilliwack that's closed. So I don't have any insider information on where to get really good baseball jerseys. I basically go through the Major League Baseball site to get jerseys, and I get replicas. I don't get the game worn on field authentics and all that. I get the replicas because they're a little bit cheaper, and I don't see a huge difference. But again, I'm sure that there are people who would see a huge difference. I guess when it comes to baseball, it's sort of like me buying Fanatics instead of Adidas. For hockey, if I didn't really follow it that much, I can't have a Fanatics jersey and wear it as a hockey fan. It doesn't work for me, but I know a lot of people do, and so that's likely the replicas are probably a similar quality difference. But anyways, thank you guys so much for all your support, and we'll see if the NFL can get this all straightened out. This is going to happen though, and again, I'm waiting until they either shorten the season and say we're going to cut this off at 12 weeks because this is getting out of control, or they say no, we're going to soldier through and we're going to have to add a week because of the amount of teams that are being affected and games being moved around. I'll be here to report on when it happens. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.